I feel like something that throws so many people off when they get started is when they don't see a result within the first week or two. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had, times where people are like, you know, oh, it's been 2 weeks and, I didn't think I was going to see something, but I'm seeing something now. And it's the expectation to kind of see something within a week or two. Like you're not going to, reverse like years of bad habits within the first 2 weeks,
Yeah, people just want results and they want them now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it now, and for the most part, like I try to tell everybody with the first couple of weeks, it's all about getting your feet grounded,
Yeah.
and kind of nailing the basics, building a routine, building a bit of structure. I always say it to every new person that starts up, just baby steps. Don't get overwhelmed with everything. Just tick box after box after box, whether that's something like, let's say they're struggling with getting in their calories. Let's say they're on 2,000 calories a day. They're struggling to get it in. Well, I'm going to aim towards then like smaller goals. Like let's say if they're lacking on their protein, okay, let's set a protein goal. That's just not too far away from where you're at now. And, then start recognise little wins. And when they start seeing these little wins and you tot it up, then the results will come eventually.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. Because I think if people go into it, like obviously we all have big goals, but if you're not breaking it down into these smaller goals, they're so much harder to see. And I feel like when they are taking it step by step, they can actually see, like a little result here and a little result here, and it starts forming into that bigger picture, rather than just getting stressed and angry because you didn't drop 5 kg within the first week. And then you're getting yourself agitated, you're getting yourself angry, your cortisol levels are rising, and now you're in a more fucked situation because you're stressed out of your head because you didn't see something within 2 weeks after you spent the last 20 years forming those bad habits,
Yeah, it's common enough, and I suppose it is important to set realistic goals as well. You got to be honest with your clients as well, and they got to be honest with you too. And you kind of sometimes have to say to them, look, take a step back a little bit. Let's be realistic about things, okay?
Yeah.
This is where we're at. This is where we want to get. But there's just a couple of stages we have to go through
Yeah,
to get there,
100%.
And it's like, I often say it as well. I know you often say it to clients as well. Like you need to recognise all the wins. It's not just about losing weight or building muscle.
Yeah.
So how's your digestion feeling? How are your energy levels? Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Are you walking down the road just with a little bit more of a kick in your step,
Yeah,
a
a little
bit of
bounce.
a bounce about yourself, looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, "Just my arms look bigger," or there's a bit more of a shape coming into my core, but the scales haven't moved.
Yeah.
That's there's wins there, and even the simple things, I suppose, like hitting your targets with your calories, getting the amount of water in, even getting to the gym itself.
Yeah.
When you're living a busy, hectic lifestyle,
Yeah, it's a win.
That's a win.
It's a win. It's a big win, like. And I think what throws a lot of people off as well, sometimes, is when they are losing body fat, but they don't think that they are because their scale hasn't shifted, But a big indicator of that is obviously something like their waist size going down. Like the scale might have shifted because they're newbie in the gym, they're building up muscle while they're losing body fat. So the weight actually kind of stabilizes.
Yeah.
But like their core is a lot tighter, and like that's where you're storing that excess body fat. So you can tell that you're after losing weight, but people are so deterred by the scales as well.
Yeah, it's really hard to not focus on the scales. I've been guilty of it in the past. I'm sure you have as well. But like I said there's other ways of there's other ways of measuring progress, so you got to look at these things like you said, has a couple of inches come off the waist,
Yeah.
Has my core tightened up a little bit,
Yeah, because that's health.
because as well you have to remember muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, it's more compact, and people I've looked a lot leaner at much heavier weights than when I was weighing less, because obviously muscle is so dense, in comparison to body fat as well.
Yeah.
But you have to think about the fucking health metrics of it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're holding a lot more in your waist, that's gonna be all around your organs and stuff like that. But when that weight is shifting now to having bigger legs and bigger arms, there's a big difference. Like you might be weighing the same, but there's a big difference in how your health metrics are gonna end up as well.
Yeah, I suppose talking from my own experience, right now, just starting prep, I suppose the heaviest I've ever got to, I suppose in this prep and the last prep was just about 90 kg, and the difference from the last time to this time is a massive. I look far leaner now. I probably, if you were to compare both photos from the last phase to this phase, you'd say there's maybe 5-6 kg in the difference.
Yeah.
Saying that I was heavier, do you know, then where I'm the exact same weight now.
Yeah.
It's just you go through phases, you know, and you build muscle. So I have more muscle now than I do fat, but I'm still the same size.
Yeah.
you
See,
know?
people don't realize as well, like fat wraps around the muscle almost, you know, so you, like it will give you that tighter look anyway. So the more muscle you have, the fucking leaner you look like, and you can eat more as well, you know, because your metabolize better. So like
Happy days.
happy days. So you know, diets become easier as well the more muscle you have, and people just don't realize that, you know. They don't want to have that muscle, but like it's that muscle that's gonna help you metabolize better. It's gonna help you lift your kids. It's gonna help you, you know, live a good lifestyle. It's gonna help you, you know, be a lot healthier. And you know, it's not just for aesthetic reasons. Like it's just gonna make you fucking better.
Yeah, I suppose maybe you might know a bit more on this kind of topic. I suppose when we're talking about muscle and building the muscle, I find that an awful lot of you know, women, ladies are afraid to be lifting weights because they think they're going to look real masculine and build too much muscle and stuff, you know, but that's not the case at all.
I wish you could build muscle that quickly, especially as female, but you know, it's hard, you know, I've been fucking trying for years. It's a long journey, like, you know, and women just think that the minute they start building muscle, they're going to turn into Hulk. I would have turned into Hulk a long time ago if that was the case, you know, but it's just not that simple, it's not that easy, and to be honest, what makes you look bulky is the way you kind of act around it, not just the lifting, because you could be as strong as anything and teeny weeny. Do you know what I mean? So it's not about that. Like the diet will come into play with that as well. Like, and you know, a lot of women don't realize that as well. But muscle is good. You know, the older you get, the more muscle deteriorates if you're not staying on top of your shit. You know, so you know, over the age of 30, over the age of 40, like resistance training for females is good, and males as well. But you know, is going to be so much more important than cardio. Like cardiovascular health is going to be important, but if you don't want to have hip problems, you know, and mobility issues and stuff like that, like it's the muscle. Yeah,
that's quite important. You know, people underestimate the importance of it because it's far more than just looking good.
Yeah.
It's literally about being able to move better when you're older. You know, and you have kids, you have grandkids, you're going to want to be able to run around after them, you know, play a bit of ball with them. So like, you know, people need to be taking things, I think, a little bit more seriously in that front, you know. You know, aesthetically, people like, we want to look good, you know, you want to have the six pack, you want to have the big arms and all that sort of stuff, but for me, it's far more important the lifestyle that comes with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'd rather be much fitter than look in the mirror and feel class but not be fit. If that makes sense, like, you know.
Yeah. Like something I heard before that really sticks with me is, you know, someone says, I'm willing to die for my family. But are you willing to live for them? Are you willing to eat healthily for them, you know? Are you willing to put in the work to, you know, spend time and actually be healthy and functioning with your family? Because what's the point of, you know, dying for your family when you can live for them? Do you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.